Welcome to Histology Channel. In the ancient kingdom of Israel, a young prince named Solomon knelt before the Lord in a sacred dream. The Almighty appeared to him in radiant light, offering any gift his heart desired. While other rulers would seek gold or military might, Solomon humbly requested wisdom to govern his people justly. Heaven smiled upon his selfless choice. The Lord granted Solomon wisdom beyond all mortal understanding, along with riches and honor that would surpass every king before and after him. When Solomon awakened, he knew his destiny had been forever changed. The test of his divine gift came swiftly. Two women stood before his throne, both claiming the same infant as their own. The child's true mother wept desperately while the false claimant demanded her rights. Solomon's eyes gleamed with heavenly insight as he called for his sword. "Divide the living child in two," he commanded, "and give half to each woman." The false mother nodded coldly, but the true mother cried out in anguish, "No, my lord, give her the child rather than harm him." In that moment, Solomon's wisdom revealed the truth, and he restored the infant to his rightful mother. News of this judgment spread like wildfire across the known world. Kings and queens journeyed from distant lands to witness Solomon's divine wisdom firsthand. His kingdom flourished as merchants brought gold, silver, and precious stones from every corner of the earth. The most magnificent visitor was the Queen of Sheba, who arrived with a caravan laden with treasures beyond imagination. She came to test Solomon with the most challenging riddles and questions ever posed to a ruler. For days, she presented mysteries that had stumped the greatest minds of her kingdom. Yet Solomon answered each question with perfect clarity, his wisdom flowing like a mighty river. The queen marveled at his understanding of nature, justice, and the mysteries of creation. She declared that not even half of his wisdom had been told to her, and she blessed the Lord who had placed such a king upon Israel's throne. Before we continue, please subscribe to our channel to support us. It helps us spread the word and create more videos for you. With his divine wisdom secure, Solomon turned his attention to building the most sacred structure ever conceived, the Temple of the Lord. This would be the dwelling place of the Almighty on earth, a house of prayer for all nations. Cedar trees from Lebanon's majestic forests were carried by skilled craftsmen. Stones were quarried and shaped with perfect precision. Gold covered every surface within the holy chambers, and intricate carvings of cherubim and palm trees adorned the walls. The most sacred chamber was the Holy of Holies, where the Ark of the Covenant would rest. Only the high priest could enter this divine presence, and only once each year on the Day of Atonement. When the ark was finally carried into its resting place, the glory of the Lord filled the temple like a cloud. Solomon's wisdom extended beyond judgment and construction. He wrote thousands of proverbs that taught men how to live righteously. His songs praised the beauty of love and devotion. Kings and scholars came to learn from his understanding of plants, animals, and the workings of creation itself. The kingdom's prosperity seemed boundless. Trade routes brought exotic spices from distant lands. Solomon's fleet sailed to mysterious Ophir, returning with gold that made Jerusalem shine like the sun. His throne room displayed 12 golden lions, symbols of his royal authority and divine favor. Yet, even the wisest of men can fall prey to the temptations of the heart. As Solomon grew older, he married many foreign princesses to secure political alliances. These marriages brought peace to his borders, but introduced foreign gods into his household. A sacred red cloth of sacrifice that once honored only the Lord, now stained altars built to false idols. Solomon's heart, once purely devoted to divine wisdom, became divided between the true God and the deities of his foreign wives. The Lord's anger burned against his chosen king. The divine voice that once blessed Solomon now spoke words of judgment. "Because you have turned away from my commandments, I will tear the kingdom from your hand. Yet for the sake of your father David, this will not happen during your lifetime." Even in his decline, Solomon remained the wisest man who ever lived. His proverbs taught that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and his life became both an example of divine blessing and a warning against pride and unfaithfulness. When death finally claimed the great king, his kingdom immediately fractured. The united monarchy split into two realms, just as the Lord had foretold. Yet Solomon's temple remained, standing as a testament to divine glory and human craftsmanship. But mysteries surrounded the great king even in death. Ancient texts spoke of a magical ring that gave Solomon power over supernatural forces. Legends claimed he could command spirits and bind rebellious demons with divine authority. Some said this seal of Solomon was thrown into the sea before his death, its power too dangerous for mortal hands. Others whispered that it was hidden beneath the temple's foundations, waiting for a worthy successor to claim its authority. The temple that took 7 years to build would stand for centuries as the center of worship for God's chosen people. Pilgrims traveled from across the ancient world to offer prayers and sacrifices in its sacred courts. Yet even this magnificent structure could not stand forever. When the Babylonians besieged Jerusalem, King Nebuchadnezzar's armies destroyed the temple and carried away its treasures. The Ark of the Covenant vanished without a trace, beginning one of history's greatest mysteries. Some believe the sacred Ark was destroyed with the temple. Others claim faithful priests hid it in secret chambers beneath Jerusalem, where it remains hidden to this day. Ethiopian tradition insists that the Queen of Sheba's son carried it to their distant kingdom. The exact location of Solomon's temple remains debated among scholars and archaeologists. Most believe it stood where the Dome of the Rock now rises in Jerusalem, but its precise foundations have never been found beneath centuries of construction and conquest. Solomon's wealth, too, became the stuff of legend. Treasure hunters have searched for centuries for the lost mines of Ophir, seeking the source of his impossible riches. Yet, like so much of his story, the location of his gold remains shrouded in mystery. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can keep making great content. In the end, Solomon's greatest legacy was not his gold or his temple, but his wisdom. His proverbs still guide seekers of truth today. His story reminds us that divine gifts must be treasured and protected, for even the wisest heart can be led astray by earthly desires.